Hi everyone. So I've been getting a lot of questions regarding tech conferences because last year I attended all the three main tech conferences happening in the US, and GHC was one of the or Grace Hopper is the largest conference happening in US for women in tech to find a job. So I am going to share my experience regarding how GHC was and what I did, what I could have done better, how many interviews I ended up getting, and how is the overall experience. So yeah, follow me along. Let's get started. Coming to my experience, just to give you a brief context, GHC is a 3-day event, but before those 3 days there is also a day called a pre-day, or one day before the actual main conference, and that is when companies come just to showcase their booths. And that's when I decided to go for that day as well. Apparently that day few companies were actually taking candidates to be interviewed, which was, I'm not sure if they were interviewing the candidates or they were kind of shortlisting them, but I heard from people that they actually got some interviews on that day after talking to few people. So I actually heard that few people ended up getting interviews or getting shortlisted for a few companies on that previous day, and even I went to one of the companies, and I was giving interviews on the spot. Apparently after the interviews were done, I got to know that they do not sponsor international students, so I could not go further to the final round just because of that reason. And that was very heartbreaking because I should have researched about it, but I did not. Had I researched about it, I wouldn't have wasted my time in interviewing for that company, since they do not hire international students. So basically that was the pre-day for me. Coming back to interviews, one thing that is very helpful is there is a GHC account that you would get once you register for GHC, I think. And on that there is a portal called the job portal, where you apply for all the jobs which are only secured for GHC applicants. There were many companies, like I think there were a lot of job openings and companies for different roles, like software developer or data analyst or data scientist, and all these roles were there for all these big companies and all the companies that were coming. Not all, but at least few companies, they already posted their job postings way ahead of time. So what I did was I sat and applied for almost all of them as in whichever were all the software developer roles for me, which I found are hiring for international students as well. So I apparently got a call for interview for one of the companies, and this was even before the actual GHC conference. So I think the conference was in September, yeah, and I had already interviewed with the company in September starting. So recruiter reached out to me, and then she scheduled interviews with that company. So I think that was a nice head start that I got even before the actual conference. To day one, I decided to come earlier because I thought that I want to save some time and avoid the crowd and the rush. But actually what GHC people do is they will only open the door at the particular time, the starting time. It was 9 a.m. During last year. So they opened the door at 9 a.m. Until then you have to wait outside. Basically, meanwhile I just I had made an Excel sheet where I had listed all the companies which are attending, which I am interested to go to, what is their booth number, are they hiring international students. I wrote one or two lines for each company why I would be interested to apply to that company, and why I'm interested in that role, or if I like the mission of the company. I have mentioned that. So this really helped me connect with the recruiters when I was talking to them. So yeah, so I was just preparing myself, and then the doors opened at 9 a.m. sharp. We went inside, and there were like a lot of booths, lot of chaos, so many people, everyone wants to find a job. So there was a huge line for every company. I already had the top top 10 companies in my mind that I was planning to cover in day one. I think it was ambitious of me to plan top 10, but then because the wait in few lines were, for few companies it was 2 to 3 hours, and that is like a long time. So I would really suggest to get like water and snacks and everything with you, so that you come prepared and you don't get tired or overexhaust yourself. Day one, yeah, I was talking to companies, and I mostly covered a lot of companies which were in my list, and talked to the recruiters, gave my resume to them. One good thing I did was I added my LinkedIn profile's QR code as a home picture in my phone, so it's very easy to exchange contacts with recruiters or fellow people, other people who are coming to find in the conference to find a job. So that is how I connected with people. I also printed out some business cards, but that was actually not needed because no one was actually using or taking the business cards. So also one more thing is, every company has a QR code on the booth table, which you can either take a picture of it or on the spot just resume drop on that link. So that is so that your resume is in the company's pool of resumes, so that you are a potential candidate if they want to reach out to you for an interview. So that is very important. So do not forget the resume drop links. Do not forget to take your resumes, because on the spot the recruiter might want to talk to you regarding your experience, and they would get to know that only through your resume. So if you have a resume handy, you can just give it to the recruiter, and recruiter will just kind of skim through the resumes and ask you questions. Okay, you worked here, what did you do here, what did you do in your master's, what did you do in your bachelor's degree? So all these kind of questions, be prepared for those questions. Be prepared, like why do you want to pursue, why do you want to be a software developer at our company? Questions like these are very common for recruiters to ask, because definitely this is how they analyze your interest in their company. And to make you stand out, I would really suggest to have a 1 or 2 line pitch ready for GHC conference, where you kind of customize that pitch for each company. So for example, hi, I'm Apurvi Saini. I have done my master's from Arizona State University. I'll be graduating in this state, and I'm looking to get a job as a software developer because of this reason. I love your would love to work at your company because of this reason. So this is how you kind of are. This also shows the recruiter that you are proactive and you are already prepared for it, which is a good thing, puts a good impression. So do that. And so this was my experience for the first day. I know that I also got invited for few after parties and few events for few companies, and I went to few of them, and they were, so these after parties are just to kind of connect with other people from that company. Suppose Amazon threw an after party, so there were people from Amazon, so other software developers. You could talk to them, and it's more like a chill thing. Like it's not to find a job, it's more to chill after the whole event. You want to kind of eat or enjoy. So these events are mainly for that. But also last time I noticed this a lot, that few people who did not get invited to any events were very anxious that why we are not invited, and actually even I was, but it does not matter. This is nowhere related to you getting a job. You can definitely not go to any event and still get a job at GHC. It is totally random the way they select people or call people for these events. It's not based on your resume, it's not based on anything. I think that it is totally random, so it should not be taken very to your heart that why did I not get invited to this event or that event. I know for some events, like for Google's event, we could get a +1. I'm not sure if that is the case now or that's the case for all the companies, but I think if your friend is getting invited to an event where you want to go, you could just ask them that can I be your plus one, and I think that should be fine. But other than that, just don't focus on that. Focus on getting a job, focus on getting a good head start, and standing out in the crowd. So that is very important in GHC. This was day one. I was definitely very tired. Day two was I woke up early and then went to the conference. I still had a few companies that I had in my mind that I could not cover on day one, so I decided to go ahead and cover those companies. I went to the company's booth. I think I went to Apple. Apple's line was very big, but I knew that I want to cover Apple because that is gonna take the most of my time, and then I could cover other companies which I want to go later. So just kind of prioritize where you want to go. I made a list of companies where I want to go, like sequentially. First I want to go to this, then this, then this. So that would really help. I think yeah, that was there. And then be ready to be interviewed on the spot by recruiters. They can ask you any question. There are also, there will be people who will actually be interviewers who would be interviewing you. So be ready for any kind of technical questions or behavioral questions, or you can just be ready, like be proactive, and be interested in the company, ask questions regarding the company, be very stand out in the crowd, I would say. Other than this, I think day two also went like this. I had a few company events, after parties, where I had to go. I went to those events, and day two was done. Day three was mostly chill because majority of the companies are also winding up. I think day three is shorter also, so make sure that you cover majority of the companies in day one and day two. It was more chill. I was kind of talking to other friends that I made, and talking to other people in the line, and covered the other companies which I could not cover on day one and day two. And then it was pretty much it. I just collected some swag. Also make sure that you carry an extra bag for your swag. That would really help. One more advice I would give is to print out a map of the whole event, because the venue is huge. There are so many companies, you will actually get lost without a map. So have a map of the whole GHC event where all the booth numbers are there, and then you can just mark them that okay, this is the booth, I want to go to this company's booth, where is this? So that will really help do that. This was all the 3 days, pretty much it. I don't think so, I'm not sure if there were any events on the third day. I don't remember going to any, so I think this was pretty much it. And I did end up getting one more interview from this, and one interview I got actually 3 interviews. One company was not hiring national students, second company I interviewed already before the conference, and third company I interviewed during the conference. So also there are these one-on-one slots that open up, one-on-one slots, like one-on-one with a software developer at this company, and one-on-one with the recruiter. I'm not sure if it is with the recruiter, but this was for all the companies. These one-on-one links open at a particular time, and I would highly recommend getting added to the WhatsApp GHC groups, or getting information from GHC site itself. I think one-on-one slots, but those slots also go very fast, so you have to be very fast and kind of be ready with your laptop and just click and then get those slots with the companies you want to. So yeah, I think this was it, and this was my experience at GHC. Do feel free to reach out via LinkedIn or below in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, I hope that you all have an amazing GHC conference experience.